Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tech Frenzy. In today's video, we are going to be talking about, well, essentially all the big earnings. Amazon, Reddit, BMNR. Let's quickly address this. Werewolf Cat says, Tanner, tell me you cut the shenanigans with the BMNR play. It's bag holder city if you don't cut and run. This thing could collapse and never come back. What does that mean? Like honestly, tell me how that makes sense. They don't have any debt. The entire business is them buying and holding Ethereum. So if you believe Ethereum is going to go down to zero and you don't believe in crypto, I mean, that's one thing. Yeah, you should never play BMNR to begin with. Okay. But if you are looking at a company that's acquiring BMNR, they haven't got to their 5% holdings. They want to stake it for an amount of 3 to 4%, which they're not doing. Okay. Where is the potential concern that they're going to collapse? They're going to collapse as far as Ethereum falls. The actual worth of the equity is going to be worth how much Ethereum is. It might end up getting a premium on top of that based on if people think that they can continue to acquire ETH very quickly. But I don't see a way where it's going to potentially go much lower than what Ethereum could go by. So everyone's welcome to their own opinion. But no, I have not cut the shenanigans or whatever of BMNR. I still remain a happy shareholder, but patient and understanding that I don't control the crypto market. I don't control many markets. But I wanted to I'm a trader now. I don't know if you guys know this. Evan, you're going to have to invite me on to your trading show. It's official. This is going to be a little Tanner Inception, little clip from my channel from earlier. But I ended up buying a company and it did well. It wasn't a clear strategy. I mean, we didn't just go straight up, but I'll play it and let you guys understand my emotions of what happened after the last stream whenever I bought Reddit. If we look previously, they have beat revenue by 11%, 11.3%, 6%, 6%, and then 17%. Those are huge beats just on revenue. On EPS, they beat by 130%, 550%, 50%, 300%, 81%. I think people have stopped messing around with Reddit. But then again, those beats are so big. Look at my little thinking fingers here. I'm getting so excited. When does Reddit's numbers come out? 4:06. Okay, I've got a couple minutes to think about this. What am I doing, ladies and gentlemen? What am I doing? Guys, we've been on a slam for earnings lately. The calls have been on point. Makes me want to buy Reddit. I've got to... Don't follow me into this trade. It didn't work out for me yesterday with Meta. Still climbing up 8%, 240. Don't follow me into Reddit. I'm not being a smart investor here. I'm just... Reddit's already up 2%. I'm gonna play. Watch it be like down 10% the second I put this trade in. I am in on Reddit. Let's see what happens. 4:06 is whenever we're expecting the Reddit numbers. They are flat on earnings right now. Amazon going to be up 10%, 245. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get these numbers. Sorry, guys. I had to make a quick trade. We're back on track. And it looks like Reddit might have missed. It was a bad trade, ladies and gentlemen. We're down 6. We're down 7%. It happens. We nibbled. We got bit. Okay? I lost. I won on Amazon and could have saved myself. I didn't want to. Okay? This is why I don't trade. Reddit up 11%. Reddit's up 11%. Okay. EPS. I called it. Beat by 54%. I said the margin was killing it. Okay. We made it out alive, ladies and gentlemen. It looked rough there for a second. What a freaking turning point. The GOAT. We did it, baby. It's those sweet moments that we can capture in this investing journey. We can make it out just a little bit. Gotta love it. All right. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled news. But yeah, Reddit up 10%, Amazon up 13%. It's been a good little lucky season. I mean, we've been hitting it. I was talking with Steve yesterday on the live stream, and I'm like, man, everyone that I'm talking to that I know that are like really great investors are all pointing to Amazon. I'm like, whenever that happens, I mean, I gotta really hone in on that, you know, and now up 13%. And honestly, I think the next one might be Meta. Like, I don't think that you can let go of any of these Mag 7s. And like, I think there's going to be these overreactions in stocks. Always. There always has been. Last 100 years, there's overreactions to news, to earnings, to uncertainty. And I think we might have just seen one again in another mega cap company. It might be Meta. But then again, I know Meta is not for everyone. But I am... It's my little thinking fingers. The thinking fingers. Yeah, I'm turning into a degen. This is what happened to Tevis before. Honestly, what would have been good for me is if I would have just lost money and sold. I never would have touched it again. The fact that I won, that's the problem. The fact that I won, I'm going to be coming back for more. Let's look into some things here powered by the great and powerful Fiscal AI / Future. I love this platform because, look, I mean, we just ended up seeing Amazon earnings. We can switch this over to quarterly. And in fact, I'll show you guys based on a segment level perspective. And boom. Then let's stack all these. Little easy viewing experience, and also tighten that because we only really need to see the last 2 years. Actually, 3 years. Okay. So the reason why I did 3 years is it really shows you that you can see the December highs, the holiday spend. This is just on revenue, right? This does not talk about margin. We could talk about margin here in a second, but overall, the amount of growth, especially over these last 3 years, you can even see here in the compounded annual growth rates, which third-party selling services at 14%, that's growing pretty quick. Subscription services, 12%. Advertising services, 22%. And actually, I think if I tighten that, it might even get a little bit faster if I'm not mistaken. Nope, slower. I lied. And then AWS, 19.6%. And if I extend that out, it gets a little bit slower. But if we end up, lowering this, and let's go to the thing that made everyone very happy, AWS, and then we'll also look at the percentage of growth on AWS revenue. Wait, sorry. I'm going to uncheck that and recheck that just so it's blue. Okay. 20% year-over-year growth on AWS. We have not seen this since December of 2022. And of December of 2022, the only reason why it even remotely beat was it was by, 1/100th of a percentage. So yeah, only just slightly. And by the way, this is year-over-year comps. So each and every time that you grow, those comps that they need to grow on top of get harder and harder to grow at these rates. Essentially, there were some pretty quotable moments from Andy Jassy during that call. He said that the Trainium 2, I'm going to say the name of the actual project. What was the name of the project? Rainier? Am I getting that right? Yeah, Rainier. The Rainier project, which is 500,000 Trainium 2 chips, essentially exclusive for Anthropic, is now using to be built and deploy their new AI model for Claude. And anyway, they said that they saw the Trainium 2 continuing to see strong adoption and is fully subscribed and is now more than a multi-billion-dollar business for them that's grown 150% quarter over quarter. 150% quarter over quarter. So that's a little exciting. There's so many more other quotable moments from the AWS talk as well. They said that this is their largest growth rate that we've seen in 12 quarters. You can see that right here. Or sorry, in 11 quarters. And then let's see. They also have a backlog that grew to $200 billion and doesn't include several unannounced new deals that they saw in October, which together are more than our total deal volume from all of Q3 is what they've seen in October alone. They're going to set up another gigawatt data center just in Q4 alone, 1 gigawatt total of total capacity, and they expect to double their total capacity for Amazon Web Services by 2027. Power still remains their main industry bottleneck, but they could see that end up becoming chips eventually, which also could be very bullish for NVIDIA. Our custom Trainium 2 chips are fully subscribed with 30 to 40% better price performance than competitors. Demand remains strong across large and mid-sized customers, and Trainium 3 will preview later this year with full volumes expected early in 2026. I mean, this is a full-on cloud computing company disguised as an online selling service. This company's performance, whether it's up 13% or not, was exclusively around whether or not AWS was going to do well, and they're doing very well. It doesn't mean that the shopping services was not also exciting. So if I add on here, online stores, third-party sellers, we can look at advertising in a second, but I'm going to go to subscription services and stack this up as well. They said that we're on track to deliver at the fastest speeds ever for Prime members globally, and we're starting to roll out 3-hour delivery in select U.S. cities. We're also investing $4 billion to expand our rural delivery network, increasing access to same-day and next-day services by 60% so far. Okay. Our AI-powered shopping assistant, Rufus, has had 250 million active customers this year, with monthly users up 140% year over year, interactions up 210%, and users are 60% more likely to complete a purchase. Rufus is on track to drive more than $10 billion in incremental annualized sales. Tell me why, again, AI spend is not worth something. That people are saying that, oh, you know what? They're all just spending and they're getting zero return. It's not true. It's just maybe the models don't direct, or don't translate to direct profit. But that's almost like saying that like SoFi Relay or SoFi Insights is absolutely zero revenue. Yeah, it's zero revenue, but then all the other columns of their business grow faster because of it. Okay, so you still need it. Going on to the, we've been talking about robotics for their factories and everything. They said robotics is a very substantial area of investment for us. We have over 1 million robots in our fulfillment network at this point. And I'd say that while that's significant, there's a lot of intervention in flight. So I expect that we'll have more over a period of time. So they're going to continuously invest more and more and more into robotics, which is then going to spike up that North American and international operating income. Expect that the margin for these types of products increase greatly. And by the way, the big jump down this time was because of a one-time charge. Okay, so we're actually going to see that recover a bit. Brian, you're saying, help, what should I do? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, my friend? Yeah, guys, don't worry about the... I'm aware that stocks are falling. It's very broad-based. The entire S&P and NASDAQ saw a large cut, very recently. Even in the last, I think, like 3 weeks or maybe even a month, we saw quite a correction based on some scares about Chinese and U.S. trade tensions. And then right after that, we ended up seeing all-time highs again. Okay? Unless you start to see real problems starting to emerge, people are allowed to take profits. Okay. Problems, or like situations can get worse from here, but that doesn't mean that I go ahead and sell all my stocks and don't look for new positions to buy. There's always opportunities in the market. Paul said, I sold a little SoFi, bought 500 BMNR and 850-ish SoundHound. I'm in the BMNR club now. What made you change your mind, get so bullish on Ethereum? His Amazon covered calls must be underwater. Maybe. Try to roll out. If you can't, bye-bye. I missed adding to Red or Meta today by 17 cents. That's not a miss. You can buy you can buy within the 17 cents of the low. Oh, you put in, okay, I see. You put in a limit. Yeah, happens. But it would have prevented me from getting my third BMNR position in one day. Tanner, did you see Reddit's report in the stock reaction? You need to scroll a little bit back to the clip of me buying it on or before earnings, watching it collapse, and then watching it skyrocket. I definitely watched it with some money behind it. I got pretty excited. A little too excited, some people said. And understandably. Okay, let's jump back into the report. Okay. Also, another thing, I wanted to see what their operating margin looked like this. Oh, wait, no. The operating margin was because of that one-time report. So that will improve. So not great there. I wonder if they have any adjusted numbers to account for that or not. Adjusted EBIT. Yeah, see, look at the adjusted EBIT margin. Still fell though. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. That's going to here. Yeah, no, it still did fall. All right. Maybe they don't have the adjusted numbers. Or, because it's literally the exact same. My understanding was it was a one-time charge. Unless someone in chat can correct me on that. Diluted EPS. Who was the person in chat the other day that said that, the Amazon model doesn't work? It can't work. What was that again? Also, let's see if I can do this really quick. I might need to build another thing if Q3. Let's do this. What has reported so far? Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Meta. Let's take a look at those four. The big spenders. We'll look at capital expenditures. Can we see Q3? No, it's only showing Q2. I don't know why this is. Well, we can take a look at it individually. I know that. But I wanted to see them stacked all together. Not Amazon, sorry. Capital expenditures. And look at this. $35 freaking billion in spend. Let me tighten that a little bit. $35 billion spent on capital expenditures for Amazon. Isn't that nuts? I might need to take down chat. No, I don't really have any place to hide. Then if you go to Meta, Google, all of their spend is increasing over time. And what does that mean for me? Well, whenever I think about where that money is going, a lot of that's into chips. Think AMD, think NVIDIA. We'll actually need, so I don't have any stake in AMD. We really, really need them to actually put up real numbers, show that people are spending with them. That's not just, purchase or forward purchase agreements and hopes of purchase. I want to see that they actually are assuming new revenue, not just partnerships. If they do that, they could be, you could see a lot more progress in their stock. But so far, NVIDIA is the name that I continuously think about whenever I think about a customer that like is truly like their products are being purchased. Okay. It's all more NVIDIA if we see more and more of these types of purchases. Amazon did crush, guys. Amazon crushed. It was all on AWS. Advertising was really, really good too. Look at this. Look at advertising revenue. Just insanely growing. Who could imagine that whenever they started to drop down to 17%, that people would say, oh, no, they're going to re-accelerating. Or they're going to re-accelerate. Come on now. This is really, really exciting. These last two quarters have been huge. Margins improving. They're growing in multiple areas, multiple geographies. No buybacks or dividends just yet. They don't really care about any of that just yet. They're the largest startup in the world. That's the way that you should think about it. By the way, this is really quick. This is the AWS operating margin. I should have brought this up as well. Also seeing a slight improvement quarter over quarter. Better margin, 34.64%. Okay. So, on that news as well, let's go ahead and switch over to Reddit. Now, I only saw some of the parts here. Okay. So I have not taken a look at all of their numbers. I didn't take a look at the call just yet because we were listening to the Amazon call, and I literally just got off of that an hour or so ago. But let's quickly take a look at, well, first, revenue growth rate still holding up an immense 67% year over year growth. On top of a year that grew at 67%. Like you almost you went from 67.9% growth to 67.9% growth on Q3 of 2024 and Q3 of 2025. Is the trade desk doomed because of Amazon? Maybe. Then let's quickly take a look at their gross margin, operating margin, and then I'm also going to get in the net income margin, net profit, and free cash flow. Let's mess around here a little bit. I'm going to zoom that forward a little bit. Okay, let me just take this because it's going to drive me nuts. Okay, there we go. So gross margin actually improved to one of the highest levels that they've seen aside from holiday spend, which if I go back to this holiday spend as well, that also saw an improvement. 88% than the quarter. No, not as severe. But 91% gross profit margin on Reddit. Then let's remove that really quick. Free cash flow was at a 31.3% margin. If I zoom that back, was that an all-time high for them? Yes, I think it was. Oh, wait. Whoops, sorry. That looks to be an all-time high for them on free cash flow, 31.3%. Oh, sorry. No. March was, but almost. Okay. And then if we end up looking at operating margin and net profit, and I just want to take out that blip unless we adjust, which is probably what it'll show, that it looks like just to be an adjustment. Or maybe that's even whenever they went profit, or whenever they went public. And so net profit margin, 27%, operating margin 23.7%. Yeah. These are like, Reddit is going to be a sneakily good business. I kind of want to see what their call said, if there was any really notable points, but I don't really want to do that live with you guys, waste your time. But I am super interested to hear what they had to say about profitability on their advertising. Okay, sorry. I'm actually reading through their earnings report right now. I won't do that. I'm just in a phase of learning right now. If you used Reddit, you wouldn't invest in it. It's a cesspool. I've used Reddit before. I don't care about that kind of stuff. That's not the I'll buy an oil company, I'll buy a cigarette company. I wouldn't even consider Reddit a sin stock. I mean, it's just a community. It's like where all the forums go. Okay. The base of users is growing over time. That's what we need to focus on. You know, if that's growing over time, that's very positive. Let's see if we can find any statistics on that. Is the base of users growing? You know, total US daily active users, and then total rest of world daily active users. Let's look at that as a line so I don't hurt my eyes. Yep, it's growing every quarter. Total rest of world daily active. Look at the increase. They added 4.3 million new users on Reddit. Michael Ritter with the 50. Thank you so much, brother. Please invest in TM World Services. Is TM supposed to be me? Or is there actually a company that is also similar to the name that is my name? I don't think Tanner Manson. I don't think there's a business. But is there a business called TM World Services? Thank you, Michael. Regardless. User growth on daily actives, huge spike this quarter. Okay. So that is really interesting. And in fact, if we end up taking a percentage of growth and take a look at this and then take a look at that, and then okay. Total daily active users, percentage of growth still growing at 7%. And international, look at this, 31.4% year-over-year growth. That's a stunning, like, that's incredible. Okay. Let's continue here, though. Turn off percent change. Then let's look at average revenue per user for United States and rest of world. And what we end up seeing is they're making more money per US customer by a lot, going from $7.87 per user to now $9.04. And then in international user, it went from $1.73 to $1.84. Okay, I was going to say, I thought there was more data points. Can we look at it? Look at the spike here. They used to make $2.42 a quarter per user. Now they're making $9. $9. Sound like some German dude that just lost money on a stock. No, it's working. Okay. So now let's just visualize this much easier. We will look at, well, do we want to look at weeklies or whatever? But anyway, we'll look at total global average revenue per user now at $5. Whenever you look at the mix between both, that used to be at $1.44. It's now at $5. Okay, for Reddit. And then if we look at the amount of users, let's say on a total global daily and weekly. So the amount of users on their platform is growing on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, and the amount that they're making per customer is growing. That's how do you bash that? I don't care if it's a cesspool. It's a working business. People are coming back and they spend a lot. If you use Reddit, you can see they have tons of ads now. Yeah, not only that, I think it's I don't just think it's the quantity of the ads. I think it's the quality of the ads. A lot of what I've been hearing about is their ability to not just sell more ad space, but increase personalization and then allow to charge more. Cool. What do you think about Rocket? I'm really thinking about looking into Rocket after today's quarter. I didn't get to look too deeply. I only saw the overview, but could be very interesting. I think that Open Door wants to be what Rocket Mortgage or Rocket Companies already is. Their new amount of acquisitions lately look to pair very well with each other, and they look to just be like one large home buying and selling service and sort of help with every facet of that business. Now, that doesn't mean that it's easy. Just because you want to accomplish a lot in that industry doesn't mean you're going to. So that's important, to keep on top of that. But I should do a video on it soon. Yeah. You know what? It will be based on if they end up getting another, more rate cuts. That will definitely help. I just got a mortgage with Rocket today, says Paul. Okay. Yeah, if the market opens tomorrow, this will be a Reddit or a Amazon all-time high and an Apple all-time high. However, Apple seems like it might fall out of that. It's been dipping a little bit. It was 285, now it's 278. But not too much. Yeah, why not SoFi, Paul? Good question. So Halloween tomorrow. That's a good thing to bring up. I will be live. I'll probably have a daily video out like I tried to do. By the way, big SoFi video today that was released. I'm going to have the daily videos out, and then I'm going to try to do a live stream at 7. We will not have the Fintech Friday show tomorrow. It'll be a Fintech Saturday show this week. So that's going to get pushed into the weekend. And we are trying very, very hard. Like I know I say special guest a lot. This is a very special guest. Not a YouTuber, not a content creator, professional investor. I'm not trying to give it away. Doesn't do content. Does investing. Okay? Not Noto special, but somewhere between, and not Tim Sweeney either. I mean, we want Tim Sweeney on. I've been reaching out to him a couple times, but it's just finding a time that we're both good on. Maybe I should just do a recorded video with him. Maybe I'll see if he can do that on Sunday or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's Warren Buffett. Can you imagine? The Warren Buffett's on the Fintech Friday show. And then I'm also like, hey guys, I gotta push the date. We're going Saturday. No, but I do have to push the date. And I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Let's also talk about this for Reddit. I'm loving the international revenue coming in. Did I skip a donation? I swear there was a donation that came in. Okay. Please invest this in the Tanner Manson new Tesla fund. Also, what are your thoughts on BN as a proud Canadian? If that's Brookfield, I don't care or follow it. Yeah, it is Brookfield. I don't care really about it as a proud Canadian. And what's it called? I will put that into my buy a Tesla Model Y fund. How about that? I'm not saying that Brookfield is bad. It's just I really only follow tech. You know, and some of those larger conglomerate businesses is just not stuff that I've followed too often. I've worked with Brookfield a few times, I think, in my life through funds and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, but I think I've had some like Brookfield like real estate funds and everything. I don't know. I can't remember now. But yeah. That's what I meant. Well, I appreciate that. No, seriously. The Halloween's, yeah, we should dress up. What do you guys think I'm dressing up for Halloween? Did I tell you guys already, or can you guess? I might have told you. How was your meta position yesterday? Evergreen, why you gotta be like that, huh? The little smiley and everything. I'm down, bro. What do you want me to say? Look at 3 comments in the exact same second. Ned Flanders, Ned Flanders, Ned Flanders, Ned. That is so rude. You would make a cute Harley Quinn. No, I'm going as a different cartoon. I'm going to be Fred from Scooby Doo, and we have like a little family thing going on. Yeah, but I don't say like, you know, Oakley Dokley or whatever the heck you guys say. I'm going to be a Scooby Doo character. You would make a cute number 2 pencil. Thanks, man. I said it well. All right. Well, you guys are honestly making me think that my costume is wrong. I probably should have Ned Flanders it up a little bit. But yeah. Supposedly it was Blue Owl Capital's earnings today, and they had mentioned SoFi a few times. Let's see here. Actually, wait. We'll just look it up and find it ourselves. We'll listen to the actual call here really quickly. Well, I'm not seeing it. Huh? This is why you'll see partnerships with people. Okay, we're not a subprime business. This is Blue Owl Capital CEO and co-founder talking. This is why you'll see partnerships with people like PayPal or SoFi who have strong prime flows in what they take in. There was a natural pause there. So that's a logical starting point. So quality, very high. We don't play in the edges. We don't do anything meaningfully in subprime. We do prime. And then, of course, a lot of it is just business finance, business lease finance, and otherwise. So high credit quality by individual credit. And then obviously, of course, it goes down to the packaging. Okay. So a nice little hat tip to SoFi, giving really good quality. And then they said, there was another question about credit, and he said, we really care who the originator is. And I have to tell you that there's a lot of reasons to think that SoFi and PayPal are really well-run companies that aren't, I hope to God willing, companies that are going to play any part of the problems that we're talking about. So that is part of the selection. Then it's how you're going to do it. There are tools that can be deployed, and we deploy in this business. You do use third-party servicers, a way to have someone else looking. You do field checks. And by the way, if you do field checks in some of these circumstances, you see red flags. All right, well, fair. Little hat tip to SoFi, just saying that they're very selective on the credit that they do, and that they really respect SoFi and PayPal for having such good quality loans. It's pretty cool. Okay, I literally just got a DM from somebody saying, "Hey Tanner, you need to stop scrolling so much." Do you guys also notice that whenever I'm on the screen that I scroll constantly? Is this a thing? Like I'm just constantly doing this? I do apologize. I'm going to click over here now. Oh, sorry. This is Blue Owl. Okay, making it hard to follow. No? Okay. No, I can't see it anyway because it's still so small. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. I'll try to make it as big as possible, but yes, it is small. And then if I end up zooming it and then you can see it, the problem is that the chart ends up being too big. So it's like, what do you balance for? Do I balance for the chart? So usually I just keep it small and then let you guys see the chart in full view. Hopefully that makes sense. Why do you not speak about Dave? I've looked into Dave a couple times in the past, but honestly, similarly that they deal in sort of, subprime customer, that sort of stuff. And back whenever I was looking at them, they were not having as good of performance as what they're doing now. Now they're doing quite well. So I probably need to re-look into them. But yeah, you're right. Okay. Overall, though, with Reddit, more and more users are coming onto the platform. Those users are finding themselves more ads. And I like that a lot. So I'm going to continue to invest. Coinbase is another one that ended up showing off earnings that I didn't really get time to look at. Let me just quickly view this because it's definitely green on the day, but I heard there were some mixed reactions to some of the things that they ended up showing off. Let's look. Okay. Coinbase, let's see, consumer net revenue. Actually, wait, let me do this and then that. Take away that. So you can see the difference between the consumer net revenue and institutional net revenue, which actually might have been their, almost their highest amount of institutional revenue that they've ever seen. Okay. Which bodes quite well, by the way, this strong crypto quarter for Robinhood. Robinhood also will benefit there. So let's take away all these really quick. And then let's look at, really quick. I just want to see this. Monthly transacting users, 9.3 million. Okay. Um, assets on platform. What does this look like now? Whoa, big jump. Okay, $516 billion. Huge jump. Man, this has been a 72% compounded annual growth rate over time. Okay. Um, then let's also take a look at stablecoin, blockchain revenue. All of these, let's stack them. Stablecoin revenue at a new high, $354 million. Blockchain rewards, 184 million. That's like, people staking on their platform, stuff like this. Interest and financing fees, 64 million. And then other subscription and services revenue, 142 million, which I also think includes custody fees. So for the funds and other institutions that, use Coinbase to hold on to their coins for them. Cool. I think I'm just going to have to take chat off screen. It's much easier to read all this stuff without you guys there. So sorry. Okay. Let's see what else they ended up showing off. Trading volumes. I actually might need to do something for you guys here so we can end up taking a look at this. Trading volumes, heavily institutional trading volume and consumer trading volume. So if we end up taking a look at, for example, total transaction revenue. So if we see, consumer net revenue pre-2024 reporting. I guess they break it out in transaction revenue now. But is that total transaction-based revenue? Let me see here. Yeah, okay. I got you. Okay, so for people who are interested in fiscal AI, or you've been kind of on the fence whether or not you want to use it, another thing is custom metrics, okay? And you can create custom metrics on your own, but let's go ahead and just build one together, because this will be like a little learning experience, and I don't have this for Coinbase. So I'm going to look at this as a percentage because I know what I want. And I'm just going to say institutional take rate. Okay. Then we're looking for segment and KPIs. We're looking for, let's say, where is it? Institutional net revenue. And then we're also looking for, trading volume. Institutional trading volume. Okay. This divided by trading volume, that should be right. Let's put that in. And boom, Bob's your uncle. We can add an extra decimal there to see that. And then let's also do that really quickly for consumer take rate. Look for Coinbase, consumer pre-reporting, and then consumer trading volume. We'll divide that, slide that right in, and mark that as a percentage. Add. Okay. So now that we've built two new slides, we have all the data in there to do this. And you can do this across companies. So if there's stats like I showed you with the rule of 40 there, that fiscal AI is not showing you, but it's a statistic that you like to follow. Very, very easy to just build your own formulas directly on fiscal AI. So now I can go back and see, okay, how much was the trading volume for consumer trading volume? How much was it for institutional trading volume? You can see the difference. Institutional trading volume was huge. Okay. 236, what is that? $236 billion of volume traded on this platform, but yet they only took home 0.057%. They don't pay, or institutions won't pay a lot for crypto. This is also one of the benefits of BMNR, right? BMNR ends up buying so much crypto from companies like Coinbase, BitGo, FalconX, Kraken, all these different institutions. And so they don't pay a lot. The consumers, like me and you, pay a ton. So we end up paying 1.54% on our crypto, and they pay substantially less. Not 1%, not 0.1%, but 0.05%. Like, what is that? 1/30th of the cost, something like that? Maybe even less. Might even be off by a decimal. That's incredibly low. Okay? It might be 1/300th the cost, actually. What am I doing my math here? I can't remember. So yeah, keep that in mind whenever you're looking at crypto and all of these services. I wonder what the large increase, though. Like, this institutional take rate has been skyrocketing. To be fair, that has gone up a lot in the past couple of quarters. At one point, they were taking on 0.01%. Now it's 0.057%. That's over 5x the increase on their take rate to institutional clientele. But like I said, and this is the reason that's always kept me away, is if you take a look at these two columns, you tell me where they make their money. Is it the institutional volume, or is it the consumer volume in blue? The consumer, even though they have way less trading volume, spends so much more. It's quite interesting. Okay. Regardless, if crypto is what people are saying it's going to be, like, Jamie Dimon today saying that it's going to take over all of finance and it's definitely real and smart contracts are huge. Coinbase is one of the largest names. Binance, maybe pole position right now, Coinbase being second. But they're going to win a lot of that trading volume, whether it's consumer-based or institutional-based. A lot of the banks are going to end up trading just on Coinbase's platform. They want to get access to crypto tools, and they're not going to wait to build it themselves. They're going to go directly to Coinbase Prime and start building tools there. And so even if Coinbase takes a fraction of the total amount of revenue that's being made on the crypto industry, they could be the sort of like AWS of crypto for the entire industry. And the Clarity Act, Vincent, seems right around the corner. I don't have the exact time. I think they're very confident that they want to do it in November. So, yeah. Yeah, Jamie Dimon has not been that bullish on, crypto, but he is now. He definitely is now. Hey, I bought in, congratulations. I bought in. I'm making money with you. We're up 10.4% on Reddit right now. Amazon up 13%, Apple up 2.55%, Coinbase up 3.8%, Cloudflare, that's another name I need to look into, 8.3%, Roku up 5.8%. Narrative. I bought it 2 minutes before earnings. I'm up, baby. You can't take me down. You can't take me down. I'm up. Too bad. Too bad. So sad. There's a clip online. I made money. It's all live. It's proven. Okay. Yeah. Why is everything green? Because every company just showed off great earnings. Every company, but I think Roku. So Kathy Wood's pissed. She's selling SoFi. She's buying Roku. She's pissed. Sonny, nothing's happening with BMNR. This is just the motion of markets, you know? People can sell off BMNR, but they don't have any holding costs. There's no risk if you believe in Ethereum in general, unless you think that people are going to sell much, much lower than market net asset value. But then at that point, they're going to stop buying ETH, and then we're just going to have to wait for ETH to start, going up. And then at which point they're going to start staking, because that will also give them a premium. SBET just started staking. They staked like $200 million. And so, yeah, they're starting to make some money on their crypto now as well. And Wolf Speed is down. Where's Wolf Speed? We had it up on the list, no? No, that was yesterday, I think. ARK Funds. We buy high and we sell low. Tanner, have you been to Japan before? No. No. Will AMD go up or down on earnings? I don't have a crystal ball. If people knew what was going to happen on earnings, then the stock would already reflect, like there would be no surprise after earnings. I'm hopeful that AMD does well. From everything I'm seeing from all these big major tech companies is just that like spend is here. Like they continue to raise CapEx spend, and they say that 2026 will be meaningfully higher than 2025. That's important. Tanner, what's your next degen play? I honestly don't think I'm going to have one for a while. I'm kind of in on all the names that I want to be on. I'm in Chime. I'm in Reddit. I'm in Meta. I'm in on DLocal. I'm in on Shift 4. I really think I'm going to build those positions out over time. That's what I'm thinking. I bought BMNR at 60 because of Tanner. I mean, good luck with you, my friend. I actively tell people not to follow me into trades and not to borrow conviction and all of these things. That's 100% your want to buy BMNR at 60. Okay? Is that how you go around life? You just blame other people for your own actions? Whenever Ethereum ran up to 4,800, BMNR at 60 made sense. ETH is down, so BMNR goes down. I don't know how many times I need to say that play is not for everyone. It's a speculative name. Will it ever come back? Dude, you just said your last comment was like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And now you're like, but tell me what's next. If we go into crypto winter, this is just my opinion. If we go into crypto winter, BMNR is going to have problems, right? And if, Ethereum ends up skyrocketing, BMNR is going to look very well positioned with a ton of Ethereum. But until that point, if we're just sort of sitting in this range-bound 37 to 4,200 range, BMNR is just going to continue to dilute and buy more Ethereum because they want to get to 5% and then they want to stake it. You know? I like, honestly, whenever people are like, I like in all my trades, I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to buy Reddit. Do not follow me into this trade. Like actively, do not follow me into this trade. It's clipped. It's on X. It's on my account. And then if it goes down, people are like, I bought Reddit because of you. Like, that's your decision. That's not my decision. I actively told you not to do it. Yeah. Like, so if you believe in BMNR, then like I've got nothing against you. Like you believed in the company. That's not on me. That's on you. We're both in the shit. I'm also down, you know? So I got to feel bad because I'm down on my portfolio, but I'm also down on your portfolio? No. It's tough love Tanner right now. No, it's just like it's part of the business of like, you know, putting out your opinions online. And then people go, "Hey, I don't know. You get my point. I've already hammered it in." But yeah. Why aren't they staking now? I'm not sure, but they said they're going to do it very soon, and they just put out a new presentation talking about how they not only are thinking that they're going to get, 3% yield, they think 3 to 4% now, which is interesting. So we'll see how that comes about, but yeah. Okay. What did I miss today? Amazon putting up some pretty outstanding AWS growth. Reddit doing well, constantly putting up north of 60% growth, and advertising probably growing at north of 80%. Let me actually check that. I didn't get to see that. Just going to go to their IR page really quick. And advertising and monetization. Here, let me share my screen. We invested in automation across our full ad stack to help drive adoption of our ad tools and improve performance for advertisers. Launched a beta for automated bidding for brand campaigns, simplified budget management, and improved efficiency for advertisers with 15% more impressions and lower pricing. In middle and lower funnels, with machine learning improvements and enhanced reporting, automated targeting drives stronger campaigns performance, and adoption is growing at over 50% year over year. Okay, so let's find their, unless they just didn't even break out their advertising revenue. Let's search for it real quick. Okay, that was really quick. 74% year over year, and then other revenue was 7% year over year. Other revenue is like them charging for, you can like give people golden stars and crap like that. So that's not growing very fast because it's not a real business. But advertising revenue actually grew at 74%. 74%. US revenue grew by 67%. International revenue grew by 74%. US daily active unique users grew by 7%, and international daily active uniques grew by 31%. You would think that like all the people who know about Reddit already knew about it in the United States, but then they just continue to grow. It's like Facebook. It's like, who doesn't know about Facebook? And then they find another billion users in the, between the couch cushions. It's insane. I didn't miss you shave your mustache. I know it's getting filthy now, and I love it. It's just too long. No one likes it anymore. And I'm at peak enjoying it right now because there's not a comment that likes it. So I'm having fun with it now. No, I've not. This guy. Tanner, did you sell BMNR? No, bro. Nothing's changed from my perspective. JP Morgan lifts. Okay. Tanner's got Movember coming up. Okay, well maybe I do need to shave it. It's the act of growing a mustache, right? It's not the act of having one. I might have to shave it in that. I might have to shave it for that, I guess. Tanner, please pump shit for so these people follow you in. No, that's going to be another one, right? Like, the stock is absolutely getting hammered. $66.31. I don't know. I haven't seen where their earnings are lining up to this insane sell-off at all. They're growing at fast rates. Margins are improving. Things are looking good. But people are worried about Fiserv. And then even Jared Isaacman came out and he said, hey, we are not Fiserv. They have problems we don't, and earnings are next week. So, like, let us speak for ourselves. That's essentially what he said. Yeah, shift 4 at 66. I know. Maybe I need to... yeah. Maybe I need to look at it more often. Grow a handlebar mustache? I don't think I can. Yeah, I think if these started to grow down, it would be more like what's the Karate Kid guy? What's the Karate Kid's teacher? With an M. Anyway, I don't think it would be connected to my face. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Miyagi. Yeah, if I got a little Miyagi going. But Mr. Miyagi. BMNR regaining half of today's loss in after hours. It's true. I think MicroStrategy had brought some confidence back to BMNR shareholders a little bit. They ended up showing good growth. Unrealized growth of buying BMNR or buying Bitcoin, sorry. And that got people excited about treasuries again. Keep quiet. Coinbase also lifted the crypto market a bit. Yeah, Coinbase is always buying. They have a buy plan each week, I think. Same with names like Square and stuff like this. So, yeah. Okay. Buy BMNR during this dip. If you're interested in that name, then yeah. It's funny, right? There's companies skyrocketing, like Google skyrocketing, Amazon's doing insanely well. Reddit's popping, like all the tech. This is why I think it's so funny. Like, in many, many different industries, Steve's getting into home builders and all of these things. And I'm just like, man, just buy tech. Buy tech, the ones that own customers, and just follow if their customers just continue to come on the platform over time. If that continues to happen, you've got yourself a winning deal. In the next breath, I do hope for Shift 4 and for BMNR to recover, but they are more speculative names than just buying big tech and just almost not guaranteeing a win, but like there's a high chance, that the big names that have won over the past couple decades are going to continue to win into the next decade. And yeah, you can just continuously write cash secured puts and covered calls on BMNR if that interests you, if they stay range bound. Did MasterCard buy a company that SoFi had a stake in? Yes. They bought Zero Hedge for $2 billion, and SoFi just recently made a minority stake in the business, so SoFi got paid. And they also do a lot of work with MasterCard already as it is. So, yeah, they were happy. We got paid a little bit. We got paid, and Steve's calling Reddit a message board. Isn't that exactly what they are? Like, the way that I think about Reddit is it's like old school forums, but it's all of the forums. So you don't have to go to each individual website. They just have all of the forums in one. Isn't it just the message board of all message boards? Thoughts on Serve? I don't really care about Serve. Like, there might be a buyout or something like this from Uber or Amazon or something like this, maybe one day. But maybe some of these companies like DoorDash and stuff like this will create their own versions of it. And yeah, I think it's a buyout play, if anything. Honestly, I do think the next name that I might start buying, I might trim a little bit of Google and Amazon just to get a decent starter position in Amazon or in Meta during the sell-off. It's forums for Dems. I mean, I don't even think you're wrong. ServiceNow is up today. They had good earnings yesterday. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get going. I gotta go eat. I haven't eaten yet. We are going to have one last live stream tomorrow. It's going to be exciting, covering all the good stuff that we've seen over the last couple of days, sort of a recap of the week and any other additional, fintech news, SoFi news, BMNR, whatever. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe down below. But until next time, bye for now.